When I first touched Breath of the Wild, it was not on Nintendo Switch system, it was on Simu emulator. I think few weeks after it was released, it already on emulator. The thing is, if you're just gonna play only one game and you don't want to risk buying a whole system for it, emulator is very tempting, especially with exclusive title. So paired with AMD R9 570 Intel 4th Gen i5, I played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild until the end. In fact, the support on AMD graphic card at that time was quite shit. You can't compare the performance of an Nvidia card at that time. A stark difference with what we have in the market right now, including the premium price we need to pay. Finished the game, but after the quest ended, I still coming back to the game. Walking around, clearing some puzzle is all on emulator, and Breath of the Wild on Simu at that time is a very subpar experience. Frustrated with the emulator performance, I bought the whole Switch system just for a single game. Probably the best console buying decision I've ever made. I owned PS3 and PS4 before, but none come with the sole reason just to play a single game. When Breath of the Wild was released, there are many other games that already has open world gameplay. However, all of those don't come close to what Breath of the Wild has offered. If you see a point on a mountain, you are most likely can climb over there. If you see a tree, you can chop or climb it. Player interaction with the world of Hyrule is so much diverse than any other game at that time. Exploration and players being creative is what driven this game so successful. It is so successful, it spawned other companies to use Breath of the Wild as a reference like Genshin and Tower of Tensi, and they are quite successful with their title. 5 years after that, Nintendo dropped the news. The new Breath of the Wild game is coming. Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel that fan has been waiting for. To be honest, they should change the name to Tears of the Korok. This game is all about Korok genocide resident saving Zelda from whatever shit she's got into again. Tell me you don't want to be a warlord to a cute little leaf creature and starting a kingdom where Korok is your slave. Since this is a sequel, the old map is still there. Some people want to see it as DLC. I still can't see it when the content and the gameplay they bring is more than what the previous title bring to us. If you already played Breath of the Wild on your system, you don't even need to recapture the horses except Zelda horse because it's never Link horse anyway. The game started with blast of cutscenes. Link with Zelda went underground below Hyrule Castle, and somehow they awaken Ganon Mummy. I believe it's Ganon Mummy. I don't finish yet because I keep distracted to do other non-related quest stuff. But this time, the game is more narrative driven. The main quest is much longer, so speedrunning it will be longer. Not impossible, but hardly achievable on first try. I think a lot of people already cleared the game quest in 20 hours mark. Previously, you can just go beat Ganon ass after getting your paraglider, but not this time. This time, you still need to figure out clues where the hell is Zelda. So you need to go through the narrative process, which what I believe one of the elements Breath of the Wild is missing. Now there is two maps, one is Sky Island and another is Old Hyrule. Just like Breath of the Wild, you need to go through Sky Island to go through with the game tutorial phase. However, I think one of the best things they add into this game is the fusion mechanics. In Breath of the Wild, you only get moving object mechanics, but now it was extended further to combining objects, and people just build a shit ton of crap. You can build robots, you can make cars, you can make raft, you can make Gundam, or even your own waifu. It's up to you. Breath of the Wild is just like Nintendo telling you, hey, this is how the open world should feel like. Tears of the Kingdom is, hey, This is how you should interact with objects. Like surfing, why not try skateboard? What is more manly and barbaric than a sword? Or a sword with a freaking stone? Want to wield a spear like a sword? Just put a spear on a sword. The weapon breaking mechanic is still there. I don't hate it. Some people don't like it. I totally don't mind it because you don't really run out of weapons anyway. There is a lot of puzzle and material for you to try. Most of the time, if I don't solve it, it most likely because I overcomplicated stuff. The puzzle and challenge usually simple because it was designed to be solved by kids, but 9 out of the 10, you will not solve it the way that they want you to solve it. And that is the beauty of it, the flexibility of the player to derive their own solutions. It means that there was never a fixed answer. As long as it's working, it's acceptable. To think this game run at merely 16 GB is still insane. There are one grip that I don't think many will like it. That is, this game run on 30 FPS 1080p. 2023, you still run a game on Nvidia Tegra. This SoC was released on 2015, 8 freaking years ago. I don't know, but from what I see, Breath of the Wild and Tears of Korok, Tears of the Kingdom might be ported to the future Nintendo console. However, since it is Nintendo, Nintendo, they definitely will bundle the game with some sort of subscription in the next generation console. And who knows when the next Switch with better SoC and better graphic will eventually come, when this old console, this old device, ancient, is still selling and making this company money. I'll be honest, I was skeptical how they want to go even higher than Breath of the Wild, but they did it. It does feel a lot better than many AAA games in the market right now despite 2015 graphic. To be 2023 Game of the Year might be hard, but I don't see any reason it cannot be on nomination. PC games kinda fuck up with Blizzard already fuck up Overwatch 2, Star Wars Jedi launch with performance issue, and current generation graphic cards price, well, more expensive than their previous generation. So good game right now is most likely will be on console. If this game was released back then instead of Breath of the Wild, maybe it will not feel this great. This time it is more puzzle solving, more brain teaser. This might not be the taste of many people who love Breath of the Wild, but this is one of the core elements that making Zelda franchise is still good until now. Instead of a small area to cook your brain noodles, now you have the whole continent to cook your brain noodle. And also more Korok for you to enslave and torture. This game deserves 9 Korok out of 10.